Hi guys, welcome to another part of this tutorial. In this tutorial, I want to review this article from on Medium about the different UI trend that we have for 2021. And knowing the available UI trend is helpful in your journey as a UI designer because it shapes your mind and also gives you a picture of where the design industry is at and what are client expectation, what is the industry expectation, and where people are building towards. So it's helpful to have a clear picture of the available UI trend and build your next product towards that. So, so following this article, 2020 was very unpredictable as COVID swept in the world. We all experienced COVID and without our expectation, every industry was affected by it. But the design industry, because it's mostly online based, it has evolved over time, and design has also added, and the design industry has also added different aesthetics to make and offer more value to for clients and also the people that are design centric. So the first UI trend that we're going to look at is unique illustration and animation. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be opening side by side. This is not just a practical session of design. This is the thought process that goes into design, right? So design is not mostly when you go on the software and start typing. Design is also when you research. Design is also when you think, when you sketch, and also when you ideate. So we are going to be switching from dribble to medium, from dribble to this tab till we're done with this part of the tutorial. So let's open dribble.com. Um, let's just open from here. So now we are on dribble. So when we look at that, an example, we're going to search. So the first is unique illustration and animation. If you look at this website that is scrolling here, you're going to see the unique style of illustration that is here, right? Um, design now, a trend in design is either you use flat UI illustration or outline illustration or whatever, but it could be three-dimensional, it could be two-dimensional custom illustration. But then a trend in UI design is unique illustration and animation. So we can go to dribble and look for an example. So this could be an example of unique illustration and animation. These are You could use this illustrated elements for your website, and depending on the look and feel that you're trying to achieve on your site, you can use that. We can search for site. Um, let me log in first. Log in first. So you can look for I don't know if I got that right for illustration. So you could use another search word. Okay, this could be an example because this is a website. So this is an illustration. The whole field is illustrated. So it could be character illustration, it could be environmental illustration, or whatever the case may be, or whatever you're trying to achieve. So illustrating on your site is one other part of this is another example. I think you commonly see and illustrations like this on your website. So the next one is going to be storytelling. Storytelling is using a visual representation, using a visual to tell a story or to communicate what your product or your service or your offering is about. So storytelling can evolve into videos, can evolve into still pictures, can evolve into a user flow. That is using, okay, welcome to the site, and you have an action button that says go down, and then it takes you to another environment where you can experience different things, right? The ability to tell great stories around digital experience will continue to trend among the best. Typography itself can build a strong visual hierarchy and extremely critical element of UI. It plays a major role in creating excellent user experience. So, through this typography and this video and this illustration, they are able to tell a unique story around the brand or the um, interface. So the next is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence helps in your UI experience. Example is when what how you experience Google. Example is Google, how Google is able to help you complete your emails, and also another websites like another digital tool like copy.ai. Copy.ai, it helps you. You input your user word, you input your words, and then generates um it generates a copy for you, right? That is like a direction that the internet, the user interface is going, where AI is able to like do almost everything that you want. So it is automated in the back end, right? That is like back end part of UI, but it is put into consideration, and it is thought about from the user side before it gets to the other side. So the next is artificial augmented reality. I'm not going to like go really deep into augmented reality because it is a world of its own. It is a world where designers design for an augmented reality. So it is fully three-dimensional. The fully three-dimensional object related real world objects that have theta that have tethered interaction, fixed screen space where the user has to position the camera in specific ways. So real world related, which uses the surrounding physical world. So this is another part of UI design, which people are specialized in creating augmented reality, where you can just look at and you can just place your screen, and it shows you the exact image as it was designed by the user interface designer. The virtual reality is another direction that UI design is going to, and this is really interesting. And this is a really interesting space for designers. So I feel like you can explore this part of design, and you can also explore this part of design using codes, right? So UI design is not just the UI software, which is Figma. You can use other software in Vision. You can use InVision to also prototype and do some other things that you want to do. You can use any 3D software like Cinema 4D, Blender, and all of those things, all of those software. So so also digital product like charts, meetings, and all of those things. All these product that you use to attend meetings like Google Meetup, Zoom. There are other ones that you can use as a meeting point, Slack, and all of those. Those were designed by user interface designer. Awesome, right? You just can't. There's no limit to what we design, because every product online is supposed to start from the user interface side. You could start from the user experience side, right? which is a part of what we do as UI designers. That's why most of the time they made UI design um and also user experience design. So all of these products are built by user interface designers, and the experience and all of those things are um, done by UI designers. There are many opportunities in this area for designers. For example, rethinking complex communication product and also designing a clear, lighter vision to avoid disconnection for those who might have slow, limited internet, considering people in Africa. So that's another area that we're going to explore. Usability has become the new UI. So usability has become the new UI, right? That is a thought process that goes into UI design. So user how users interact with your platform, how buttons lead to this, how you're able to put call to action buttons for your users to understand where to go from where, right? And imagine see the experience that they are able to give their practical experiences to this, right? How to make your users flow from this page to that page, from this place to this other page with a seamlessly, without any hitch or without any misunderstanding of the intention of what you're creating. So moving forward, glass morph so moving forward, another one is glass morph another one moving forward, another one is glass morphism. Glass morphism. So glass morphism is another style of design, right, where you have a feel that gives this user a realistic glass feel, like you're looking at your interface from on a glass surface, like is it augmented reality, where you can pop up a screen or bring out someone from a very far distance and have a three-dimensional experience with the person. So that's the same feel that this morphism neomorphism is giving you. It could be glass morphism, it could be glass morphism or neomorphism, right? But it gives you this glass glossy feel to interact with your interface. Like this part of this site has that glassmorphic feel, and yeah, basically that. But it could extend to how far you want to take it to, right? And another trend in user experience is and another trend in user experience is three-dimensional design. Three-dimensional design is slowly taking over, right? It's slowly taking over the design space. So if you're able to learn a three-dimensional software and also animate it, that is a major plus to you as a UI designer, because you're going to be designing awesome three-dimensional sites and awesome three-dimensional products. All right, so that is an add-on, and you can also find inspiration around three-dimensional product everywhere. So, so another interesting one is fonts. Another interesting one is the use of fonts in our UI experience. This is very big, right? Because it sets designers apart. How do you use font? And this ink track font is like mostly used in the space because of how it is beautifully designed. And the people that are using this particular ink trap font, this particular one, Figma is mostly using this Figma design, and other sites are using something similar. So this is like taking center stage in the design space in 2021, and you should look at it and look at how to integrate this into your next design project. So the next one is a retro aesthetics. Retro aesthetics, you can stretch this as far as you want to, and it is like exciting because it gives you that God feeling of creating creating the experience you're trying to convey to your users, right? So here you're creating a retro feel, which is like 1990s, right? You have this big digital analog computer and all of this feel that looks like the posters we used to have back there, these stamps and all of those stuff, right? Which is really amazing to use for your design if you're trying to create a project that is related to how this look and feel. So try this out in one of your projects, maybe a personal project, or maybe propose it to a client, but it has to come out this cool. It has to come out really well for it has to come out really well for it to be functional, right? So you don't to create something that is really archaic and not as useful as you wanted it to be for the users. So, another interesting part in UI design, as you go as a UI designer, sometimes you want to flex your skills and you want to flex your learning in the area of testing your hands on building your own UI, right? And there are sites that give you opportunity to do something similar, and Webflow is like on the top of that. WordPress is also on the top of that too. um, there are other sites that can give you opportunity to edit your site without actually using code, and this is really exciting, right? Because developers have this pile up of jobs that they handle for months, and they might not be able to like implement your design the way you wanted it. So there are platforms that can do that for you as a UI designer. So hop on it, hop on Webflow, hop on WordPress, on any of those sites. So hop on any of those sites and then get your product out there for users to enjoy and experience you. So um, wrapping up, UI design is getting really interesting, and I feel like this is the best time for you to get on it because UI designers are creating what everybody in the world, everybody in the internet space are experiencing. So why not be like one of the people that are creating what people are using, what people are enjoying, and what people are interacting every single day with. So hope you're able to learn a few things from this part of the class, and I'm going to see you in the next one.